Greetings and welcome to Hexed And Countered. I'm Joe. In this video, I'm going to be doing a first look at the game Thunderbolt, the Second Punic War 218 to 201 BCE Deluxe Edition. This is from GMT Games. Now, this one, this is the Ancient World Volume 3. I should say that first. But what I did was I opted for the Deluxe Edition, which actually includes the first two games in the series, which was started by Richard Berg. This particular Thunderbolt, the third volume, I guess, was completed by Alan Ray and Mark Herman. So this is, it says Thunderbolt brings Richard Berg's claimed the ancient world system to the titanic Second Punic War between Rome and Carthage, left incomplete. The game was finished by Alan Ray and Mark Herman, as I mentioned. The game features 3 full-color maps at 13 miles per hex, spanning the Western Mediterranean. 2 of the maps are updated versions from the series' first 2 volumes, and the third, a map of Spain and the surrounding areas, is Richard Berg's final map design. 6 counter sheets deliver over 80 historical leaders, each individually rated for their strengths or shortcomings, plus combat units for every major contingent. Carthaginians unleash armies of Numidians, Libyans, Gauls, Iberians, and of course elephants. Romans field legions of citizens and ala, bolstered by Italian and other auxiliaries. I won't read the whole thing, right? 3 games in here: Thunderbolt, Carthage, and Rise of the Roman Republic. You can see it's got 2 22 by 34 inch map sheets, a 22 by 17 inch map sheet, 7.5 sheets of game pieces, rule books, 1 for the ancient world, the overall system, and then you've got rules for the Thunderbolt, Carthage, and Rise of the Roman Republic, along with scenarios, 14 player aid cards, 2 reference cards, 16 display cards, 2 10-sided dice. It's a 1 to 3 player game, 14 and up. Solitaire complexity is a 7. That's pretty high. Complexity, did I say solitaire suitability is a 7? I think I misspoke there. Complexity is a 6, and 2 to 40 plus hours. So a lot of game in here. So let's take a look now and see what's inside the box. Okay, let's get this open. Baggies are 2 10-siders here. Then we have lots of printed info here, book after book. All of these lovely booklets here. This is the series rules, the Ancient World, Campaigns of Ancient History, Rulebook, Thunderbolt Deluxe Edition. Then we have the Rise of the Roman Republic, which was Volume 1, Rules and Scenarios. Carthage, which was Volume 2, Rules and Scenarios. And Thunderbolt Scenarios. And the Thunderbolt Rulebook. All right. Now, I don't really think I'm going to go through all of these, but it doesn't hurt to take a look at the overall rules, just to get a little glimpse. So we have here introduction, basically kind of similar to what we saw on the back of the box, right? Your components, then you've got the units. So this is worth looking at, right? So here you can see you've got your Roman citizen infantry and Roman ala cavalry. Then you've got Carthaginian elite cavalry and a Carthaginian elephant. And you can see the type and the strength, right? So very simple counters here in terms of their markers. Leaders have a little bit more going on. So you can see the name here. We've got Pyrrhus. His Guile rating is a 3. Initiative rating is a 3. Campaign rating a 6. Battle rating is a B. Mortality rating 9. And his power is FP. Then you have a Roman leader. That's a non-Roman leader. Roman leader, Dolabella, Guile rating, diplomacy, initiative, campaign, battle, mortality, and leader number. Okay, what does this say? This is, okay, so you have your consular army, your legion marker, and your Carthaginian army marker. So those are just some of the things here. Terminology. Here's our sequence of play. This is really kind of what I wanted to look at. So A is upgrade phase, city rebuild. You can rebuild your sacked cities one level unless they're in a devastated province. Return and replace leaders. Wounded leaders removed during the prior game turn, along with any replacements for killed or captured leaders on the map. Strategic phase, which has its own section in the scenario book. The initiative phase has two sub-segments. Then you've got your operations phase, the augury phase, devastation phase, and your end turn phase. So then it goes through how your initiatives work via your leader activation markers and the pool. Leader ratings, it kind of explains what those are. If you're wondering, like I was, what the battle rating indicates, this is tactical battle capabilities when leading an army, including conducting a siege, and it ranges from A, which is a Hannibal level genius, to an E, which is incompetent and or fish out of water, and is always used in comparison to the opposing leader's battle rating. Okay, subordinate battle rating, your campaign rating, Guile. A finite number of Guile points used to do a host of unusual things, such as duping a city into surrendering, initiating treachery, impressing the natives, raising troops back home, etc. That's good. This sounds really interesting. I've never played this system before. We've got a diplomacy rating and a mortality rating, which of course is related to how possible it is for the leader to be killed, I believe. That would seem to be design note. Don't look for major insight here, as the actuarial tables from the A2 SPQR insurance company all SPQR, I'm sorry. This is some humor here. All SPQR insurance company did not arrive in time. The ratings are based, though, on the man's lifespan and propensity for dying in battle. Okay. I'm wondering if that's a Bergian joke, or if it came from Mark Herman or Alan Ray. Overall commanders, right? Leader activations, how that works, what they can do. They can move, they can force movement, they can do allied movement, attack, siege, involuntary surrender, manpower, diplomacy, reform scattered units, and Senate permission for Roman leaders only. Force composition, right? So you have the two different sides here. We had rules for the Romans on the previous page, Carthaginians on this page, multiple leaders, movement rules. So you have leaders and movement, continual movement, terrain, of course. Terrain is definitely of importance. Lots of notes in here, sidebars and notes, historical note, play note, design note, different colors, right? Plus examples, as you can see here. Movement attrition. Also, something when you're playing in the the classical era, or really anything up to and including modern times, you're going to suffer attrition while on campaign, I guess, right? Stuff happens. Here's interception, so you can intercept enemy forces. Overruns, devastation, stacking limits. There's no limit to the number of strength points that can be in any hex at any one time. Overloading cities can be dangerous when it comes to withstanding a siege, as another one of those brief glances at the attrition table will show. These guys must eat, absolutely. Naval superiority system, right? The naval stuff was important. Rome was on one side of the Mediterranean and Carthage was on the other. Then you have land combat rules. How do you resolve a battle? Well, this one has no pictures on it. Unpredictable results, victory, loss, and after effects. Leader casualties, of course. Cities and sieges. So this is obviously looking at the map, which we've seen pictures of at least, right, so far. You can tell that this is not a tactical level game. This is more of an operational, or even in some ways strategic level game. But I would categorize it probably as an operational level game. So you do have sieges, right? You got to break the will of these cities and basically sack them and cause devastation and, total war, classical world style. Manpower, control, diplomacy, and then your auguries and winning the game, and the rule index, which is always great to have. So that's kind of a look at the base rules. Now, I do plan on playing this, and so I won't really worry so much about getting into all the rules for the various games. But while we are here, let's take a look at the Thunderbolt scenarios really quick. All right, here we go. Introduction. Right, so the Thunderbolt scenarios share a common format arranged in sections. You've got your scenario name and complexity rating, your game length and turns, and approximate playing time. Balance for which side, right? Maps, rules, player aids, sequence of play, initial deployments, city and province control, naval superiority, starting the game, and special rules. Victory conditions, charts and tables, 3-map setup, contingent counter names in here. So the first one is an interesting one. This is Thunderbolt, which the game obviously is named. Hannibal's invasion of Italy, 218 to 216 BCE. Scenario complexity is a 3, so low complexity. And as it says right below that, this is a quick play scenario covering the opening years of the Second Punic War. It dispenses with many extra rules and concentrates on the basic system. This is a good scenario with which to learn how to play the game or to fiddle around with Solitaire. It is mostly an exercise in seeing if you can do as well as Hannibal or stop him from doing such. It's 3 turns. The scenario is playable in less than 3 hours, so it is possible to switch sides and see who can do better. Balance, not much, although it is not easy to do as well as Hannibal did historically, and therein lies the fun. Hannibal defeated 3 large Roman armies in 3 years and established a base of operation that covered most of southern Italy. Achieving the same result will be a challenging task for the Carthaginian player. On the other hand, given the poor level of Roman leadership for these 3 years, the Roman player has no easy task simply surviving. Essentially, you are playing against history, and it's the actual result the players must equal or better. Okay, and then you get into all the specifics here, as we saw in the introduction section about all of the different segments, right? The game length that we just talked about, balance, maps, the rules. These are the rules that are not used in the scenario, and there's a decently long list there. Which player aids you need, your sequence of play, your initial deployment. This one uses only the Sicily map. This might be something that I will play as a way to kind of show the game. Then we also have province and city control, your alliance information, starting the game, special rules, and victory. Then we have the Spanish campaign, which is a slightly more complex one. Roman campaigns in Spain under the leadership of Gnaeus and Publius Scipio. We have that. Whoops. This one's got a decent amount of detail to it, as you can see. The Island Campaign Part 1, the Carthaginian invasion of Sardinia, 215 to 213. The Island Campaign 2, the Roman campaign against Syracuse, 213 to 210. I don't know why I'm only using one hand. I do have 2 of them. Scipio's Spanish campaign, 209 to 205. And then the African campaign, Scipio's invasion of Africa, 204 to 201. He did end up being named Scipio Africanus. The Italian campaign, Hannibal's campaign in Italy, 218 to 203. As you can see, there are a lot of them. And then you have this one, which is the entire war, I guess. The Second Punic War, 218 to 210. Complexity is 9. This is a very big scenario. Lots of chrome, lots of space, lots of options, lots of special rules to remember. So this would be your master's thesis on the game, I suppose, if you wanted to take this one on. What does it say in terms of how long it takes to play this? The actual war lasted 16 years. This scenario starts with 218, although it starts late in that turn. Continues until one side achieves victory or both players simply say enough, fini, or whatever concluding epithet they can come up with. There's no edge of the world or time limits, but we decided to stop it at 201. This says 210. as the councils we provided cover that period only. You're not going to finish this in one sitting, or 3 for that matter. Wow. Okay. Figure an average of 2 to 3 hours per game turn. That's a long game, fellas. Probably talking 40 to 50 hours, maybe. Looking at that, if you go from 218 to 201, that is a long game. And there are a lot. There's a lot of stuff in there. Hannibal Ascendant, Second Punic War, 215 to 201. This is a shortened version, beginning the year after the Roman disaster at Cannae. Hannibal's victory, okay. Alternate endings. Hannibal at Bay, 209 to 201. Another shorter one with a complexity of 8. 9 game turns. Playing time averages roughly 2 to 3 hours per game turn. So again, you're talking a long game. You can see this is very detailed, as you would expect from the people involved in designing it. The Carthaginian conquest of Spain, 237 to 220. So this is a 5. So this would be a little earlier. Following her defeat in the First Punic War, Carthage, under the Barca family, of which Hannibal was a member, decided to expand on its coastal holdings in Spain and exploit the mineral and manpower wealth of the peninsula. The campaigns with his father and brother-in-law proved a formidable training ground for the young Hannibal, who went on to succeed both as the Carthaginian warlord in Spain. Okay. What else in here? There's just a ton of stuff in here. And we've got an extended example of play for the Italian campaign, starting on page 61. And I guess ending here. Oh, this is the designer notes. So it ends here on 66. And then you got Alan Ray's designer developer notes. He was the developer working with Richard Berg. And then he helped Mark Herman finish the game. And then Mark Herman's got his The Pope's Last Ride, right? Which was Berg's nickname. And yeah, so it was good. I mean, I know Mark Herman and Richard Berg were close. They worked together frequently. And yeah, I mean, obviously that's a big loss for wargaming in general. Now look at all of these player aids. Holy smoke, man. Look at this. This is crazy. All right, so player aid card 1, there's 2 copies, right? So that you would expect there would be multiple 2 copies at least, right? It's a 2 or 1 to 3 player game. So there's going to be duplications. It's just a lot of printed material, right? So you have 2 main player aids here, it looks like. Player aid card 1, which has pre-combat resolution, your avoidance and coordination charts. Inside, you've got your battle results table, the BRT, plus Roman command efficiency, combat ratio chart, leader tactical ability table, battle resolution sequence, leader loss, war elephants table, after battle status result chart, and the effects chart for after battle status, and then your percentage loss chart down at the bottom. On the back, you've got cavalry superiority, ambassador table, diplomacy rating chart, Guile point reference chart. Very good stuff there. And then we have the operations chart and the attrition cost chart here on player aid card 2. This has the attrition results table on this side. Devastation, overrun, road presence. So yeah, level A, B, and C. Then you've got naval transports, strait crossing, some more naval stuff here. Naval transport chart, interception summary, siege table, siege assault table, siege reduction and repair, treachery table, involuntary surrender, and sally effects table. You're going to come out and take the fight to the besiegers. And you've got your scenarios, I guess, for your Second Punic War scenarios. First Macedonian War table. This seems to be something like an effects table, or events table rather. Tribal information. So this is all related to the Second Punic War. Production information chart. See, this is where I would say it's more like like a strategic level thing because you're talking about production here. So we get 2 copies of that. Roman charts and tables. Legion request, Senate permission, censure. Legion requests for both the First Punic War and pre-Punic Wars. There. Then you have the Carthaginian equivalent. The family power determination table. So you have the two rival families there. The First Punic War fleet, army and fleet limit chart. Second Punic War army limit chart. The political climate table. And the Carthaginian manpower and commander recall table. The Celts, they get their own table. Same kind of thing. Two copies thereof. Advanced naval system charts and tables. Port harbor capacity, naval interception, naval movement distance, naval avoidance, raid chart, naval combat ratio chart, naval battle resolution sequence, and naval battle result table. Then you have your auguries or events for the Second Punic War scenarios. This is looking like a D100 kind of thing here, right? 00 all the way up to 99, right? 2 pages for that. Then you got your theater mare table, conditional effects chart, and your auguries for the Italian campaign. Thunderbolt Deluxe Edition, Roman Magistrate quick reference chart, ranging from consul all the way down to praetor on that side, and okay, dictator, emergency only, magister equitum, and praetor urbanus down here. The Gazetteer, so this is a location of things on the map. Tells you by region and the cities that are in there. That's very useful. Carthage sides, Carthage map, Spain map, and Italy map. All 3 maps. Then you've got your auguries for the First Punic War scenario. Your Samnite Wars augury table as well. And then we've got army displays. So this would be Thunderbolt. These are, well, I was going to say it's single-sided. This one is, but this is not. So this is the Roman army display for the Second Punic War. 2 sheets, essentially. The backside of the second one has the Iberian army display for the Iberia scenario. Then you have your Carthaginian army display. One side here for the Second Punic War. This side for Iberia. Carthaginian political and manpower display. There is a lot of material here. Roman city occupation display. Consolidated display for use with the island campaigns 1 and 2. Spanish campaigns 1 and 2, and African campaign. And this is for the Second Punic War. Then Carthage, Second Punic War, and the back, same kind of thing. Island campaigns, Spanish campaigns, African campaign. Alliance and game turn tracks. For you got Carthage allies here. Game turns running. This is 218 to 201, so obviously this is for the Second Punic War and Iberia. Roman army and fleet display for the First Punic War. Syracuse mercenary army and fleet display for the Mercenary War. And Agathocles scenarios. Carthaginian army and fleet display. And scenarios on the back. Rise of the Roman Republic. So this is volume 1. Then you got Carthage for volume 2. It tells you here in the corner what games they're from. Carthage is volume 2. So again, just like city occupation and mercenary tracking. This is volume 1, Rise of the Roman Republic. Single side there. Non-Roman army display. Non-Roman city occupation display. Roman city occupation display. And alliance level and game turn tracks. And on this side, Carthaginian political and manpower display. That is a lot of material. Holy mackerel. All right. Now we get this whole pile here. of counter sheets. So this is counter sheet 2 of 2 for Thunderbolt Deluxe, Carthage. Okay, so you've got various things here, I guess. 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets for Thunderbolt. And then you have the Deluxe Carthage 2 sheets. So 7.5, which is what it said. So if we start at the top here with Thunderbolt, right? So here you go. Here are some leaders, right? You've got Scipio right there in the corner. Crassus, Varro. Yeah, see, there's Gnaeus Scipio and on the other side. Rufus, Lentulus. These family names, if you've read things about Rome, a lot of these family names are pretty familiar. There's a Cato, another Varus. Varus, give me back my legions. Different theater markers. Citizen infantry with strength points. Legion markers, right? Obviously, double-sided. This would be the back of the leaders there. Okay, I'll go to sheet 2. More citizen infantry. Then we have some cavalry, the ala, siege engines. Then we've got some Carthaginian leaders, Hannibal and Hasdrubal right there. Hamilcar, Hanno, various things there's some Carthaginian infantry. That's a big one, 15. More cavalry, ala infantry. Again, double-sided, of course. Get the idea. More Carthaginians, some elite. Libya, with also some elite there. Numidians, with their leaders. Gauls, Iberians, more Italian infantry, a lot of Gauls. Liguria, Mauritania, Numidians. So yeah, lot of units here. And that's only 3 out of 6. So here we have some more Iberians with cavalry. Your Celt Iberians here, Lusitanians, Syracusans. And then you got some Roman legion markers here, I guess. And Italians and Greeks. City militia. Okay, then I think we get into some things that maybe aren't. So we got some markers here for ships and so forth. Without reading the rules, I won't know what all of these are. You've got Guile markers, you've got siege markers, inertia and attrition, useless. No one likes that marker. Tribal markers, perhaps? That's what they look like. Victory markers. Army commander recalled. Failed interception. Revolts. Marsh, game turns. So you got some of your markers here, action points. The last of the counter sheets, specifically Thunderbolt marked here. I'm sure there's a plenty of, oh, what does that say on it? Oh, Quinquereme. All right, ships. Okay, more Sicilians. Or just some Sicilians. I don't think we've seen those before. Okay. Different things here. Crewmen. Fleet in training. Oh, weather. Pretty interesting. Okay, now these would be older things, I suppose, mostly leaders, I would guess, because I'm pretty sure the units probably transfer. Yeah, so you have a Claudius, a Fulvius, a Valerius, and so on. Postumius, Valerius, Gnaeus Cornelius, garrison markers, Libo, RRR, Rise Roman Republic, I'm guessing. Carthage and Thunderbolt probably use the same, mostly the same counters. These all say RRR, so these would be for the Roman Republic, Rise of the Roman Republic. Pretty cool. Etruria, Apulia. Yeah, a lot of these are Italians. Cool. All right, so we have reached the point now where we're going to take a look at the map. So I'm going to pause here. Okay, so this is the Italy map, if you couldn't guess or tell. These are paper maps. Thick, typical GMT map stock. Good stuff. No problems here. This is the first one. This is one of the 22 by 34s. I turned it sideways so it fits the frame better. Okay, so just looking at it here, you can see there are towns and cities. Roma is right here, of course. You also have Sardinia and Corsica here, of course Sicily. So, and then northern Italy up here. Okay, so this would be map 1, I guess. Or just say the Italy map. It does say the ancient world on it. The other two specifically say the ancient world Carthage and the ancient world Spain and Mauritania. So let's switch to the second map here. Second big map. Okay, so this is the Spain and Mauritania map, right? So here's Mauritania and Spain, of course, right? And so pretty straightforward. Again, you've got the Med here. Now on this map, there is only one large city, and it's right here. Carthago Nova, New Carthage, right here. There is a key, and let me just show that real quick. So if we do this, right, here is the map key. So you can see the bottom there. You've got settlement, small city, medium city, large city, and different kind of look to it. Like this is more the Roman look, I believe, and this would be more like the North African look. So if we go here, you can see some of the cities, right? Like that is a medium city. That's a small city. Medium city there in Africa. A smaller city. I don't see. There's a settlement right here. So you get the idea. Now let's look at the Carthage map. This is the smaller map. Figured to give you a better look, I would zoom in here. So obviously this is the northern coast. You can see small cities along the coastal road, so to speak, or just along the coast. This kind of water here is coastal water. This obviously is deeper water. You can see kind of a little edge of Sicily over there. This map obviously pairs up to the Italian map and to the Mauritania map as well, kind of up in the corner. So that's the bottom, I guess. And then if we slide it up here, or the top rather, not the bottom. So here is more of the more interesting part, in my opinion, right? So here's Numidia, of course, and Tripolitana here, and then Carthage, right? One big city, Carthage itself is here. Then you have Utica and Hippodiaritis up here, large cities. But everything else is kind of small, on the small side. So there are no settlements here. It's all small cities with some medium cities, and then of course the big kahuna over here. And that is the third and final map. I will try to get a shot where I can get all of them together, at least when I play, because I hope to play at least something where we might use more than one map. But we'll see how that goes. I always have way more that I want to do than I can find the time to do. But this is an interesting design, and I definitely would like to do something with it. There was one more nice touch, I thought, here on this map. Right here, they have a little tribute to Richard Berg right here. I think that's pretty cool, right? It's got his 1943 to 2019. It's hard to believe it's been 7 years. But and his initials as he wrote them. So that is going to do it for our look at Thunderbolt, the Ancient World Volume 3, which in this case, since it's the deluxe edition, not only includes Thunderbolt, which is the Ancient World Volume 3, but also the first two volumes, Rise of the Roman Republic and Carthage. So we have I have all three in one box because I didn't have the first two. So this is a really nice, in my opinion, a really nice wrap up to Richard Berg's illustrious career. And I think, based on the number of components, the typical GMT production quality, all that stuff, this is just a great product, and I look forward to giving it a play on the table. So look for that down the road. But for now, I'm going to sign off. Quick shout out to my channel members. As always, I appreciate the support. And yeah, if you're interested in finding out more, click the join button. That will not sign you up, but it will give you access to the information about what becoming a channel member means and all that good stuff. Otherwise, while you're here, please consider liking, sharing, hyping this video, or perhaps even becoming a subscriber to the channel. That is free and does come with the opportunity to click the bell and get notified when new videos appear, drop, if you will. That's not a term I use regularly, but yeah, when I make new videos, right, and post them on YouTube, you'll get a notification if you click the bell. Enough on that. Questions, comments, post them in the comment section. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, we're done. I'm signing off now. This is Hexed and Countered, and I'm Joe. And until next time, as always, happy gaming.